Hello guys, my name is Badr al and you are now watching HTML course for complete beginners. Web development is very big and it has lots of topics. And if you wanted to be a web developer, HTML is your first step to get you there. So if you stick around with me during this video, I will teach you the fundamentals of HTML5 and you will be ready for your next step, which is CSS. Actually, I'm gonna make a video about CSS similar to that video, so if you want to be notified and get notification when I upload that video, consider subscribing and also hit the bell icon so you will get the notification whenever I upload that video. Another thing, guys, that learning takes time and you need to be patient in that matter to absorb as much information as you can. So let's start with the HTML concept. HTML stands for Hypertext Markup Language, which is used to present the data of the website on the screen. So every text you see it on the screen, it's typed using the HTML. It is so simple, and you will see that it's not enough for building any website. You need to have another things like CSS to style your page, and you have to have JavaScript also in your page, similar to that. So we can see here that HTML builds the structure of the website, which is the text typed on the website, and CSS styles that website, and JavaScript makes it fancy and makes it move around. Okay, you will notice that HTML and JavaScript that are not enough for building a complete professional website. You also need to have a backend, which is pretty advanced. If you want to build a static website with the content in it, that's fine. But if you want to have a dynamic data, which is uploading images and downloading things, you need to have the backend. But we are not covering this thing in our course now. We are just focusing on HTML itself. And finally, HTML is not a programming language. Okay, you may have seen some memes about HTML that it's not considered as a programming language like that, and it's really not. It's not a programming language. It misses the concept, and it misses the conditional statements and the loops and the variables. Also, you may have seen this meme as well. So there are a lot of memes about that concept that HTML is not a programming language, and it's not hard at all. You can get it very fast. So before we start, guys, make sure that you prepare your environment as I do, so you can follow up with me. Don't just watch these videos and consider yourself as an HTML programmer, because you're really not. Practice what we will do in this video, and I will give you also a resource at the end of this video, so you will master HTML. Then you can consider yourself as you want. So stick around, and I'll give you the link at the end of the video, which is the #1 resource for me in HTML. Lastly, developers always keep learning, guys. Whether they are learning new things or mastering the thing that they are learning, they do always learn. So keep that in mind if you want to be a good developer. Learning is your key for success. Alright, my friends, now we are going to set up our environment to start coding using HTML. The first thing you need to do is to download a text editor, and I have a multiple solutions for you. You can choose whatever you want. The first option here is Visual Studio Code. This text editor is a little bit advanced, so if you are using only HTML, you can not to use it if you don't want to. I use it actually to develop my project and to write code using for Laravel, but for HTML I'll not use it for this course. And the second option is Atom. Atom is also similar to Visual Studio Code. It's a little bit advanced and it has some pretty awesome tools to use it. I didn't use it actually, but I see a lot of developers use it to develop their or write code. In this course, I will use Sublime Text. It's a very simple text editor, and downloading it is pretty easy. You just download it and execute it as any other program you are installing into your computer, and you are good to go. So Sublime Text is our option here in this course, and I already downloaded Sublime Text, so I don't need to download it. If you open this page using any operating system, it will show up your operating system. So when I use Linux, it shows me that you can download it for Linux. If you open this website with your PC, Windows computer or laptop, whatever, you will find that it will type download for or install for Windows, also for Mac OS. It's available for every platform. Now, let's take a look at Sublime Text. Let's close this up and let's open a new folder. Let's create a new folder called my website. Okay, and let me just right click and open it with another application, and I'll use Sublime. And also you can open your application and choose this file as your directory. So I will open it here, and it opened an old no, I don't need this, I need this, my website. So this is Sublime Text. Okay, you can insert your or create new files here, and it's a pretty good pretty good text editor. And that's it for this part now, and you are good to go, and let's continue in the other part. Welcome back, all of you. Now let's continue with understanding what HTML is. So first thing you want to know about any programming language is the syntax. And the syntax is how you type that programming language to make it work. Okay, so the syntax of HTML is very, very basic, and basically it contains two tags. This is a starting tag and this is an ending tag. Okay, and the difference between there is here a /, and the content of that tag is placed here. Let's see an examples here. We have an h1 tag, which means a heading 1 tag. Okay, opening starting tag and ending tag, and inside here we have the text that we want to type. We can type here any name, any text we want. Okay, so this tag will affect only the content inside that tag. If we see another example here, we have a small tag, and it will make this text small. Okay, and also it has a starting tag and an ending tag. All right, now there are some tags, they don't have an ending tag. For example, the BR tag, which means a break line. If you want to like put the content on another line, like type the text on the next line of the previous text, you will use that tag. So if you notice here that the BR tag is a self-closing tag, it doesn't have a closing tag, and you can type it like this or like this. Okay, it doesn't matter. Previous HTML versions used to read this, and the new ones are good with this type of typing the BR tag, but it doesn't matter if you type any one, HTML5 will understand it. Also, we have the image tag, which holds the image, and it is a self-closing tag. All right, we will see the use of all of these tags in the practice part of this course. Okay, now let's move on to the next slide, which contains the HTML page structure. Okay, at the top, as you see, here's the doc type, which means the document type, and it's specified as HTML to make the browser understand that this document or this file is an HTML. So read it like an HTML file. All right, and now we have some tags that are required to make that HTML execute smoothly and execute better, which are the HTML tags. We have an opening tag here, and we have a closing tag here. Okay, and then we have the head tag or the head section of the HTML. All right, they are inside the HTML, and we have also the body tags. Okay, inside the head tag we have the title tag, which will hold the title of the tab. If you notice that if you open a website, you will notice that at the tab you have a text. So that text came from here. All right. So this part of the HTML file is not touching the actual file. So the content here will not appear on the screen. It will only configure the page and do some configuration stuff. For example, if you want to add some metadata to the website to make it accessible by Google to understand what's the content of this page, you can put a meta tag and insert that meta tag. You will type keywords for the search engine to insert it in their database. So when the users search for these keywords, your page will appear as a result in the search engine. Okay, now let's move on to the next slide, and here we can find the name of the HTML file. HTML doesn't need a server to run. If you like created a new file and you name it an index.html and you double click that file, it will execute. It doesn't need to have any type of server or something like that. So the result will be seen on the website. You don't need to see it at the text editor or something like that. If you want to see the reflect of your code, go to the browser and refresh it, and you will see the reflect. Now the typical thing in the website that they name the first page that the website executes is index.html. Okay, so it's the first page that the website sees. For example, if you type in the URL www.mywebsite.com, then the website will execute this file. It knows that the first file is HTML, is index.html. Okay, if you want to execute another file in the website, you will type www.mywebsite.com/ and the name of the file, which is login, for example. Okay, we will see also how to structure the files inside folders. So if you want to put like a subfolder, and inside that subfolder you have multiple HTML files to structure your code well and make yourself organized. We will see that in the practical part of the course. Now we can see here the HTML5 page structure. HTML5 proposes this structure to be used by the developers. Okay, so inside the body tag, you will put these things to have some sort of organization or to have an organized page. So you don't need to like make your code not understandable. If you find the header tags, you will find a header content inside it. It will be readable for the other programmer if they want to complete your work, for example. Okay, so the header tag is the first thing you will see at the top of the browser, and you have also the nav bar, and it contains the links if you want to navigate between the, for example, the home page and the about and the news. You will put these links in the nav bar, navigation bar, and also down here we have an aside and we have a section. Okay, and inside the section it's an article, and down there we have the footer. If you want to put some copyright and terms and conditions and privacy policies, you can put it in the footer section of the website. Okay, this is a proposed way to structure your website. You don't need to use this structure, but this is what HTML provides the developer. Now we will move on to the next part of this video and see you there. Welcome to the computer. Now we are going to create the folder that will hold our files, and we will create the files of the small website that we are creating. So I'm heading now to my home directory in my computer. Go to any directory you want and create a folder. I'll call this HTML underscore course, and I will right click this folder and open it with other application, and I will choose Sublime. Okay, so Sublime is here. Let's make this bigger. Now you can see that HTML course is here and it's empty as I created it from it's a new folder, and I want to create a new file in this folder, and it appeared here, and I will hit Ctrl S to save this file, and I will save it inside the HTML course folder that I just created. So let's name it index.html, and we have now the index.html. All right. So if we want to open this folder or run this file, it will not execute yet. We have to specify the doc type first to tell the browser that this is an HTML file, run it as an HTML file. Okay, so we will specify that it is an HTML file, and we will put the structure of the HTML file, and then notice that when I typed the /, it auto-completed the HTML. Okay, inside this, let's hit tab and let's specify a head. All right, and also we will specify a body. All right, so we have an HTML, we have a head, we have a body. All right, if we save this, and we go to the folder, we will find this index.html. We will double click it to open it with our browser. It's empty because the let me just adjust this, because the file is really empty. Okay, even the title of the tab is like by default specified like that. If we want to edit this, we can access this particular place from the head tag, because the head tag holds the configuration of the file, and this part is a part of the configuration of this file. So we have a tag here named title, and let's type, for example, HTML course. Okay, and let's save and let's refresh. We will find that the title here is changed to what we specified. In the head tag, we put the link tags. We have a link tag. Okay, and this link tag will you will specify here the path of the CSS file if you want to include a CSS file here, if you want to style this this file. And we can also add a script. If we have a JavaScript file you want to include in the in this file, you will include it in here, or you can also, or maybe typically we include it at the end of the body tag. Some tags you will include them at the end, and some other tags you will include them at the top. Right? Also, you specify the meta tag, and this meta tag specifies some configurations of this file. One of these configurations is if you want this page to appear on Google search, so you put some certain meta tags and some certain keywords, so Google will know what's the content of your page if you want this page to appear on Google in the search engine. All right, so you specify it like that. Now let's keep it as a title. Let's keep it simple, and let's head now to the body section. All right, here is the section where it will everything we type here will appear here. Okay, so if we type for example hi and save this file and we refresh the browser, we will see the hi we typed here. Okay, so it's basically what you write here will appear here. Okay, if you want to style this hi, you can style it like the sizing and the padding things in the styling section. So we can type like a tag h1, which means heading 1. Okay, and we type hi inside of it, and we close the tag. So we have a starting tag, h1, we have an ending tag, h1 also, but the difference is the forward slash, and inside it you have the hi. Alright, so let's save this file and let's refresh. You'll notice that it's bigger and it's bold, okay, which means it's a heading 1. Now, in HTML, there are headings from h1 to h6. Let's rename this to heading, okay, and let's copy it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, because we have only 6 headings. So h2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and also we have to close it as we opened it. 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And let's save this file and refresh our browser. We will find the difference in the sizing of the heading. So the heading 1 is bigger and the heading 6 is the smallest one. Okay, let's move on now to the next tag, which is the p tag. The p tag means that this is a paragraph. So if you want to store a paragraph in the page, you will put it inside this tag. So let's add a paragraph. We have by default a tool installed in Sublime called lorem. So if you type lorem and you hit tab, you will get a random generated text. Let's refresh now. Let's save first and let's refresh the browser, and we will find our paragraph here. Okay, so if we want also to add another paragraph, we can add it like this, and you will notice that let's save, and you will notice that there's some spacing around the tags. Okay, these are built-in or pre-specified styling. We will mention them in details later on. Now let's move on to the next tag, which is the small tag. Now notice that we have a p tag, which is a paragraph, and also we have a small tag. If we type here, this is a small tag, okay, and we save and we refresh, we will find the difference between the size of this font and also the size of this font. Okay, so this is a paragraph tag and this is a small tag. If you want to store to view, for example, a date or something like that, like a sub information of something, you can use this tag to display this type of information. Now let's create another small tag because I want to talk about a concept in the styling and HTML in general. Let's name that, or let's type here, this is small tag 2. Let's save and let's refresh. Notice that this first small tag is placed here and the second small tag is placed right next to it. Why didn't this happen to the h1 tag and h2 tag and h3 tag? Why didn't h2 placed here and h3 placed here? Notice that if we type h1 again, it will appear right below it. Okay, we have two h1s and it appeared right below it. It's not the difference between the tags that they are two similar tags and these are different tags. No, it's the thing with the tag itself. If we go to the browser now and we right click the browser and hit inspect elements, okay, we will find something here. We will just make this bigger and we can find that here in that section of the this page we have the display. So if we click this and clicked on the h1, notice that it's highlighted here. We are reading now the display of the h1. We will find that it's block. So we have two types of display. We have a block display and we have an inline display. If we click on the small tag, okay, we will find that the display is inline. The difference between block and inline, the block, you notice that it's highlighted here. It highlights the whole width of the page. Okay, this is the block. It takes the whole width of the page. And the inline, if we go to the small tag, let me just, okay, and we click that button to highlight, you will notice that it's highlighting only the text. Okay, it's not highlighting, it's not reserving the full width of the page because it's an inline display. All right, so this is a very important uh, concept in HTML, the display, inline, and block. Now let's move on. If we want to separate the small tags and put each one on a different line, we can make a line break using this tag. You can type it like this, and also you can type it like this. It doesn't matter. Okay, so you have now each tag in different line. Okay, we can also, as a second solution, surround the small tag with another tag. Okay, we have the div tag. The div tag means a division, right? And the div tag display property is block. So if you cut this and paste it inside the div tag, okay, and let me just copy this and paste it here. Oops, paste it here. Let me remove this. Okay, now nothing will change except that the two is will go, but the each small tag will appear in different line because of the div tag. So if we refresh, we will notice that it's each small tag is in another in a different line. Now let's use, or before using anything, let's talk about the another tag, which is a tag. And this tag is basically, let's say that if you want a hyperlink, if you want a text to be clickable, and if you click that text, it will take the user to another page, you can use this tag, and it has a property which is href. We will talk about the properties in deep later on in this course, but let's just now type inside the property href, which is the URL you want the user to go to. Let's type https and www.google.com, and let's save. Before saving, let's say that this is Google, or you can type anything you want. Let's say link. Okay, and let's close the a tag. Notice that it's the same as the small tag, okay, but the difference is here we have an href, okay, and that's it. We save and we refresh, and we will find a link tab here, or link text. If we click it, it will take us to Google. Okay, it will take us to this URL. Now, if we want to go to another page on our website, we can do so by creating another HTML file. Let's name this as news.html. Okay, and inside this news, we will type news, just to keep it simple. And here we will type news.html. Okay, so if we refresh and we click on news, it will take us to news. What if we want to put the news in different folder? We can do so by creating a new folder. Let's name it as news, capital, and let's put this inside. Can we put it? Can we copy it? Oh, I can't. Okay, let's create a new file called about.html. And why isn't it saving? Okay, and let's say that this is about. Okay, and let's go back to the index and specify that we want to go to the news folder and then about. And let's remove the news. All right, let's go back first and let's refresh, and then let's click. It will take us to news. It's news, not new. Okay, let's save, go back, refresh, and let's click, and it will take us to the about page, which is inside the news folder. So that's how you navigate inside your web application or website. Now let's use the things that we have learned up here to memorize them well. Now, let's just go down here, and I will introduce you first to a new tag, which is the article tag. Now, the specifications or the default styles of the article tag is the same as the div tag. So we can type here div and no problem, okay? But why do we use the article tag? It's for making your code clean and making it understandable. If your code is full of divs, or every section is a div, and you didn't use any articles, okay, so it will be harder to the other programmer or other developer to understand where's the article. If you use the article tag, it will tell him that inside this tags you will have the article, okay, instead of the div. You can use divs if you want to make a square somewhere or something like that, but if you have an article, it's a good practice to put it inside an article tag, okay? So we have now the article tag. Let's open it, and let's put inside the article tag an h2 telling us that this is the title of the article. Let's close this h2, and let's put inside it a small tag by better which is me, and let's cut this to save space on the browser and paste it in here, okay? So we have a heading, and we have a small tag, and we have a paragraph. Let's save. We saved already, and let's refresh, and we will find our lovely article here. Now, I want this to be clickable. If you click on this text, it will take you to the personal page of this person, okay? You can do that by making the a tag, because it is inline, so you can put it like this, and it will not affect the lining of the website. So let's go, for example, to the about page. Let's copy the link from here and put it here, and let's save. Let me just make this bigger. Okay, let me hit save and refresh, and let me go to this person's page, and it will take me to the about page. So you can put the information of that person in here. Okay, so notice that it didn't affect the styling. It didn't put this in a new line. Okay, it's the same, but this text has a property, which is you can go to another page in the website. Now let's move on with our tags. We memorized the old tags. Now we have pretty simple tags that called a UL, which is an unordered list, and from its name you can know that you will have a list here. So if we put an unordered list, and inside the unordered list you put the li, which is a list item, and you will say here item 1, for example. All numbers appeared except 1. Okay, and let's copy this. 2, 3, 2, 3, and let's refresh. We will find that it's an unordered list with the bullet points. Okay, if we want to, let me put this at the top. If there's another tag called an ordered list, which is an OL, and from its name you will know, or you will guess, that it puts numbers instead of bullet points, or instead of points. Let me just make a quick hack here, but you don't have to do this. It's division, and I'll style it. So just to make the website up here, so I can scroll up and you can see it better here. Okay, so let me just remove this line and get some space here. Now we have these two tags, and now we are moving on to the next tag. Let me just check my cheat sheet to keep going with the course. Now we will talk about the image tag. We can add an image to our website simply by inserting this image tag and specifying the src tag. property, sorry. Now, the tags has properties. For example, we saw previously the href property. It means that you can put here a link to go to that website. Okay, and also we have this src, which means the source tag, and also we have a lot of properties like class and ibooks. Class, and we have the id property, and we have so many properties that specified or that meant to be used in some specific tags. You can take a look at the resource that I will provide it to you to take a look, to take a deeper look to these properties and know where to use them and when to use them. Okay, now we will use the src property or attribute with the image tag. Let's grab an image from the internet. Let's sample image, and let's go to the images, and let's grab this one. This looks pretty decent. Let's we can put here two things. We can put the link from the internet, and we can put the link of the image if we saved it here. Let's try both. Let's first copy the image location. Notice that it's the image location, not the link location. It's the image location. And if we paste it here, you will notice that the extension of the image is typed here. Let's close this and let's save, and let's go to the browser and refresh, and we will find the image appeared here. Let's now just use another attribute, which is the width, to make it a bit smaller. Let's say 300, and let's refresh. Let's make it 500. All right, so we grabbed this image from the internet using this link. But what if I want to download this image and view it from my files? We can do so by saving this image and going to the home, going to the HTML course, and saving. Let's just rename this image. Let's name it sample underscore image. Okay, and let's save it. You will notice that it appeared here. Now we will go to it by just typing here sample underscore image. If we save, nothing will change because it took the image from here. We can, if we just renamed it as a thing not related to this name, we will get something like that. Okay, now let me just remove this renaming thing, and let me just add another property or another attribute which named an alt. This attribute will have a text that will appear if the image didn't appear like this. Okay, if you have a problem in the image or something like that, you can type a text to display what is that image. Okay, so we can type sample image. Okay, and if we save and refresh, we can find, let's corrupt this. Notice that it didn't appear. This text didn't appear now in the image, but if we corrupt the name and we save and we refresh, the name will appear instead of appearing the viewing the corrupted image. Okay, so it's better for your website looking. Now let's move on to the other tag, which is the table tag. The table tag, from its name, holds a table in the website. Okay, so if we just open the style sheets or the sheets in the computer, we will find that this is a table. Okay, this is a table. The table has a heading, okay, and has a body. This is the body of the table. The heading is the A, B, C, D, E, F. Okay, so we have to specify the heading and the content of the heading, and also we will specify the body and the content of the body. Notice that we have to specify the heading first, that we have a heading, and we have to specify that we have a row, okay? And also we will specify the data of the row, okay? And also we will specify the body, and we will specify a row in the body, and we will specify the data in that row. Let's go back to the code. Let's just get back this browser, and let's just open this up, and let's specify the head. Okay, it's like the T head, which is the table head. Okay, and let's open it, and let's put inside this a TR, which means a T row, and let's put inside this a TH, which means a T head. Okay, we have a TH for a heading. The difference is the text will appear as bold, and we have the TD, T data. So we have to use the T head, hit tab, and here we will type whatever we want. So let's type, for example, the ID. Okay, and let's copy this, the T head, and paste it multiple times, maybe for the name, and maybe for the email. Okay, now this is the head. If we refresh, we will find these data. Now we are going to specify the T body. Okay, let's hit tab and let's open the T body, and let's also specify the T row as we did in the head, and let's now insert a T data. Notice here it was a T head, and here it will be a T data. And let's open up this TD, and in here we will specify the content of this table. Okay, so let's type, for example, ID number 1. Notice that you will follow the ordering here. So first we type the order, the ID, and then we will type the name. Let's type my lovely name, and finally let's type an email, whether@gmail.com. Okay, let's save and let's refresh here. You will find that the data appeared here, and it's not bold as it's as the T head. Let's copy the T row and let's paste it multiple times. Here, let's say number 2, and name Sarah Gmail. Number 3, let's name Salem at gmail.com. Let's refresh and we will find a lovely table here. Okay, you will notice that the page now is ugly. It doesn't have any coloring, it doesn't have any styling and things like that. It's so ugly, and that's because we are using only HTML. If we use CSS with this page, it will be much better. Alright, so let's continue with the next tag. The next tag is the form tag. And what I mean by form tag is, if you want to make a login page, you have some places in the website where the user will type his email or his username and his password. This is called the form. So let's open up a form tag. Okay, and inside this form tag we will put our input fields. So first let's put a label, oh my god, label, and inside this label let's ask him for the username. Okay, and after that we will ask him for the input tag, input tag, and notice that they gave me a type and a name. Okay, so I will type here a text because I'm receiving a text as a username, and we will not use the name, we will use the value, or without value, without anything. We will just keep it like that, and let's now refresh, and we will find a username and a text field which we can insert a text inside it. Okay, if we want to make this form handled by the backend, we can specify things here like the action, and the method. So you have to specify these two things to make it happen or to make it handled by the backend. If we have, for example, a login.php, then these values will go to the login.php script and will be executed there. And also you have to specify the method of the form, like post, you have get and you have put, you have multiple methods. Okay, and if you want to get that input from the backend, you specify the name tag. It appeared, so I had a problem to explain it to you. So you will get it, or you will extract it using the name tag. You can specify here a username. So if it goes to the backend, in the backend you will ask for the username variable. If it doesn't appear, then the user didn't specify it here. Okay. Let's now make another tag, but before that, let's just adjust this and add a division tag, because the label and the input are inline. So if we put an inline and an inline tag, it will be a little bit ugly. And also let's create a break line here, br. Let's save, and why I'm typing down there, it's hard for you to see. And let's refresh. So, oh, we didn't change these. Let's change these to password, and this type will be password. HTML5, or it's in HTML, provides us with some useful things like this. So if you type anything here, it will appear as dots. Okay. Also, let's get the email from the user. Let's also change this password, and let's name this as email, and let's name this as email also. And also we have this thing which is in HTML5. It like validates that this email is an email. So I forgot the break line. Now let me just clarify this email type by making the last input, which is the button that will submit, and in this input we will use the value, because without the value it will has a submit query. I don't want this to appear. I want something else. I want to send to be appeared on the button. Okay, so now we want to validate that the user entered an email here. So let's type here AAA and hit send. It will tell you that enter an email address. Let's enter an email address, gmail.com, and let's hit send, and it will that means that the form is executed and it took it as an email. Okay, let's go back, and this is how you create a form in HTML. There are a lot of useful tags and attributes and things to learn. Let's now head to Google with each other, and I'll show you the W3 school, which is the source that I really learned from it a lot. Okay, you will find some or a lot of useful things here. They cover a lot of things like SQL, PHP, ASP, Node.js, C++, C#, and also at the first you will find HTML. You will find HTML and CSS and JavaScript. You will find a lot of things. This is my #1 source for, like, I don't memorize every tag. These tags that I show you, that every developer uses them every day, so that's why we memorize them. But there are lots of tags, lots of like properties that you want to make sure that you are using them well. So using this website, we can make sure that we are using the property right. If we want to, like, you can go to the attributes and see what different attributes they are telling you that the A tag defines a hyperlink, like an href, okay, and the image tag has a source which specifies the path of the image. And you have also in the image the width and height. You can also see the tables. You can take a look at the tables. And also the awesome thing in this website that you can change here. Notice that it's first name. I can do email, for example, and I can run it, and it will be changed here. So you can practice here, and you can see the difference here. If you saw something and you want to try something else, you can just try it. I want this, for example, to be 50%, and if I run, it's 50%. Like, you want to try things on this browser. You don't want to copy it and go to your text editor and refresh the browser. You can also try it here on the website. So this is the number one, for me, it's the number one resource for learning HTML. So that is it for this video for now. HTML course for complete beginners. It was a quick course. I hope you enjoyed watching it. Thanks for watching until now. I really appreciate it. I hope that you took anything useful and you enjoyed watching this video. If you did, consider subscribing. That will encourage me to do more, and I am doing my best. I'll try to upload a video per week and stay consistent to this channel to make it bigger and grow it, and it won't grow without you guys. Thank you for watching, and see you in another video. Bye.